Small daily habits lead to change. I have learned this more in the last year and a half than I'd ever learned it in the previous 52 years of my life. And I was just writing about this on my Facebook post recently related to losing weight and how small daily habits can change our life over the long run. When you start taking steps and changing small daily habits, you don't notice it at the beginning, but then you can look back and say, oh my goodness, that's amazing what I have changed because of changing my small daily habits. So I'm just going to read this. When people say they can't get motivated to lose weight, I know for myself, when my why was strong enough, health crisis, risk of disease, cancer, diabetes, the motivation was easier. Then determination sets in, and it's amazing how the obstacles start falling away and daily habits become easier too. I had to grieve the loss of the identity of being an obese person with big boobs. This affected who I dated. I talk about that in one of my other videos talking about losing your boob size as you lose weight. Anyways, I had to grieve the loss of identity of being a cake decorator and a baker. This meant I had to change what I brought to a party, for example. Or I had to change what I made for breakfasts. No more cereal, pancakes, cinnamon buns, coffee cake, waffles, muffins like I had made for decades. I stopped eating breakfast and I stopped eating grains when I was losing the weight. Once I realized I wanted to lose the weight for the last time, I was determined that I had to figure it out. I'm so glad I figured it out. I love this new way of eating. It takes so much less time. Even cooking from scratch is easier now. Small daily habits lead to big results. As you're starting to lose weight and you're starting to maybe try the intermittent fasting and maybe keto and low carb, I encourage you to see the little habit changes that are taking place. For me, some of those little habits that I started while I was losing the weight were things like switching from the sweetened drinks to the non-sweetened drinks, switching from eating high-carb snacks to low-carb snacks, and then eventually no snacks. Those were small daily habits, and it was sometimes very incremental to get to that place. And then when I look back and I realize, wow, I have, look at me now compared to even a year ago. That's amazing that those things are just habits. I don't have to think about them anymore. There's also the daily habits such as realizing that if I do step on the weigh scale, I'm not stressed if the number goes up by half a pound or a pound from the day before, because I had that 8 months, which I talk about in the other video, those 8 months where I weighed myself every single day and I marked it on this long strip of paper. Those small daily habits of getting used to seeing the number going up and down, but knowing that eventually I was going to reach my goal, and I was watching myself reach the goal, that small daily habit was very helpful. I don't need to do that now, but that small daily habit was fantastic back then, and I celebrated it. And those are the kinds of daily habits that you can instill. They'll help you stay motivated. You can bring in some other daily habits. You can chuck some that don't work, that maybe make you more frustrated. So it's always keeping the goal and changing the way you get to the goal and realizing the path is never straight, and that's okay. And like me, you'll be able to look back once you've reached your goal weight and say, wow, okay, those were really good daily habits, and I'm going to continue using those through maintenance, through learning to keep the weight off. Another daily habit might be always remembering that why. Why did you want to start to lose weight? So for me, it was the high blood pressure, high resting heart rate, depression, the mood changes, the joint pain, the diverticulitis, the risk of cancer. All of those reasons were my why. And I wrote them on a piece of paper and I put them on this wall behind me. And I would see them every single day while I was losing the weight. This is why, this is why, this is why. This is a stronger why than the pull of going back to my old lifestyle where I could eat whatever I wanted and I didn't care. Those are also some small habits, is remembering your why. If you like this video, please subscribe and share it with a family member or a friend who might benefit from this. Thanks so much for watching.